Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're having a fabulous day here today. I did want to talk about this, right? Because this has nothing to do with like 2B specifically. This is more so the broad range of things when it comes to these collaboration characters as a whole, right? So today, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, helps out a ton. This is going to be a discussion video, so give me your opinion if you disagree or agree with this, because I'm super curious. I could be taking a huge L here, so you let me know what you think. Pretty simple. So I will be using Pride Win to get these points off in a little bit of a better manner. But yes, with these two new characters, 2B, A2, whatever you want to say about them, I still think that these characters have a lot of little cool things in their kits. Let's disregard the entire aspect of if they're broken or mid or whatever you want to call them, because oh my god, this community is definitely split on this one. With it, these two characters I think have a lot of little fun things about their kits, right? If you look at 2B as a character, I've never had a lot of fun when I tested a character in the aspect of there are so many different variants of characters you can run with said character, correct? People have already run with the opinion that Mass is the only character you can use, and then without Mass, 2B is over. That's not true at all. That really isn't. There are so many different burst 2s that still put up a very good number. Like if I were to go to the burst 2 category, and this is why I'm super happy this character is designed the way she is, in comparison, you do have what is it, Summer Anise, right? Summer Anise was just broken on every team. It didn't really matter. Like, you could throw her on any team and she can kind of do great. Yes, the Mast team was better just because Mast would help the Guillotine and Scarlet on that team do a lot better, so that team comp itself was already pretty strong. Throw that onto like a Modernia team with the bunnies, that's fine. Again, you can't use the bunnies just because, you know, they're going to give her ammo. You don't want to give her ammo. You had the Privity team. There were different teams, right? There were. But when it comes to this character, right, I do think that it literally took more underused characters and made them more kind of got a chance to like actually use them. All right, for a little bit of a comparison's sake, you have Quincy. Finally, people that really don't use Quincy just like that, but if they don't have Mast, Quincy's actually really good. Attack up over here, attack max HP up over here, critical damage up over here. It's pretty good. These are really good buffs actually for what, you know, she is as a character. These are great buffs to actually give to 2B. So first, you're bringing a character that you don't usually use, just like that. Whatever it is, let's consider Mast a character unused. Boom, Mast actually has real big usage here, giving that to 2B in comparison to some other characters. Blanc still works. People saying Blanc doesn't work at all. That still works. The Biscuit defense comp is hilarious. It's not going to be like ideal, but it is funny that it actually works. And there's like so many cheese teams that people have made. JP YouTubers actually, you know, crafted some of them. I'm not going to put my sanity to that and try that, but it is funny that some of them actually work and they're pretty cool, right? But that's there also. You have other characters like Novel. Novel also works very, very well with 2B, giving you an actual real good damage comparison, which is also pretty nice. Like, this character really does have a lot of, like, more so, I will say, niche characters. And I know, arguably speaking, you might say Novel's not niche, Quincy's not niche, Mass is not niche. But let's say in that capacity, that is kind of true. You have Uni also. A2 plus Uni might actually be such a nice thing, which we have to find out when the character releases what happens here. But first, restores this much attack damage as HP for 10 seconds. If she is popping off, right, like with really good damage, you have to realize that this lifesteal will come in so clutch. Charging speed up also, which would be very, very great, and it affects all allies, right? So I am telling you now, this character has such a little bit of a comeback right here, where she might be very, very good with what A2 is as a character, right? So you have to realize, both these characters took, again, I don't think anyone's running Uni like that. I'm going to call Uni niche. You're taking niche characters, giving them a chance to kind of shine again on some really cool teams. And again, you might say, but that's not meta. I can, you know, make these meta teams. I don't know, they're fun teams. I was able to like jump into Interception and have some fun with some different little team comps. Like, I usually never use Mast into Interception, but Mast plus 2B is such a viable thing that it's actually working where you can clear with Mast. When I initially tested Mast with just my Scarlet, don't have Guillotine, really wasn't doing an insane amount. Sure, it's helping Scarlet a lot, but now I have Scarlet and 2B benefiting from Mast buffs, and then if I get Guillotine in the future, that can also be a little bit of a thing, but altogether, it's really good, like, genuinely speaking, right? So in the aspect of it, whatever this collab brought, this brought two characters that form a very little fun team here on some niche characters, bringing them back to being used, and that's why I think that they're also really good, for the reason of, if you want to use a character like Frima actually kind of works, right? Because Frima actually does give buffs, max HP up, all right? Affects all allies over here, affects all allies over here. So there's different characters that have these max HP buffs from day one that actually can provide some sort of support and some sort of fun little mess around teams, if you will, for characters that you have now, which is now 2B, correct? Again, A2 also, though she restricts the burst 1 or whatever slot to a healer, whatever that might be, that also opens up some things too, right? It might let you use your Summer Mary, your Rapunzel, your burst 3 as Helm, right? There's different little ways we can mess around with this to make A2 also shine in a really cool way. But I think for what it is, as the characters are designed, though people, again, I don't want to say that, but people are across the board here are definitely very different on this one. I want to hold a poll later on, which I'll ask this, and I'll see what the community actually thinks on just that poll. But like from the idea of Reddit, Discord, and that, I still constantly see that aspect of it. But I really think for what it is as a collaboration, they really did good here, and I hope that units in the future can take old units. Like example, Volume isn't run like that. She's not exactly run by everyone and actually trying to make good use of her. But here, critical damage up, critical chance up, she's actually a decent and a very good burst 1 replacement for 2B for all of the buffs that she does provide, which is really cool also. And there's been still so much testing across the board of this character and what they can do with her. Summer Mary's a pretty good burst 1 slot. Frima actually does kind of work, which is really cool to see. You have Litter also. So yes, there are some meta versions of the burst 1, burst 2, burst 3 that get replaced onto the team. But there's also really cool niche characters that open up a little bit of a, I don't want to say meta, but I'm not saying meta as in the fact that it's like a meta team, but in the fact that you can run different teams for this meta, correct? Like, you get what I'm trying to say here? It's gonna come out wrong, but I know what I'm trying to say. So, at the end of the day, the reason that I made this video and the thing I want to talk about is, no, this character is not restricted to one single character. There is no one single character that I need to run 2B with Master, I'm all over. I need to run 2B with Blanc or it's all over. They all work. And people keep saying like, no, the damage isn't there. Whatever it is, when I ran 2B with Blanc or Mast, yes, some of that might be more here, but it was still very viable. If I run Mast, or I keep saying Mast, 2B with Quincy or any other character, it could still put up a very good number. It's not relegating you to only one thing, and this is why, again, people also come to the complaint that it's not free to play anymore, because I have to build multiple characters. But at a point, my account, whatever it is free to play. Though, yes, whatever changed. Okay, calm down. It is still free to play. And yes, I have these characters, and I can build them if I want to. When a skill reset comes by, I'll just reset the skill. I've been playing since day one. I can have a lot of skills, lying around. I can reset a skill here and there, use a character that I like. If I don't like that character no more, reset that skill. We get that literally every month. So it's fun to be able to build a character. For example, most of us have built Novel if we're using our boss like that. You've most likely built a support unit like Quincy. So whatever you might say, it is pretty cool to use. Uni being, more of a niche character, like nobody uses it really like that. I mean, seeing that A2 might have a real good synergy with her, that's kind of a cool thing to see, right? So again, for what it is, an aspect of that, Blancanor was just universal. Any character gets thrown onto the team, but this really eats up those super niche characters and give them kind of viability. Also, look at it, Guillotine. She got her buffs, she got all of that. She's made a huge comeback for what it is as a character. She is much better, and it is cool to see some of the older characters get that, Now we're just going to wait for Isabel to become meta again. Or become meta at all. But beyond that, for what it is, again, I wanted to talk about this and share that, yes, it's not that she is requiring a specific character and it's all over. There are so many different characters you can slot in. So many niche characters, so many meta characters that fit in these teams. No, and again, this is the point that I'm trying to tackle. Yes, Mast exists, but there's Quincy, but there's Novel, but there still is Blanc. She still works. It's not going to be insane, but still it's top tier damage. I still was able to clear Modernia and Chatterbox just like that. Gravedigger also still worked. So it's any character goes. It's not the fact that you can run with a point that these are mid or these are bad or these are not free to play friendly because they require such a specific character. There are other options and you could definitely try them and see how they actually turn out. But I will continue team building and having a blast here. I think that this was the most fun, in my opinion, when it came to testing a character in a little bit. But again, could be biased because it's a collab. I don't know what that is, but I still think, right, being able to use Frima after getting a summer cosmetic is a really cool thing. And these teams are actually pretty fun and pretty cool. So for what it is, 2 max HP buffs, 36%, it's not a bad thing. Going off of the aspect of Burst 2, being able to, instead of Mast, have Quincy, which again, she's giving a max HP buff over here, 43. She's giving a critical damage buff over here, attack buff over here. is not bad support for what we have as a character. So definitely keep a lookout, right? And as you pull mass in the future, the team becomes more viable. As you get other characters, you can mess around with it and see what the best image is for you. It's the case simply as that, correct? Just my 10 cents though. Again, you let me know if I'm wrong here. What do you think? All right, let me know.